Hi, guys, and welcome to my best of 2014 video. Man, 2014. What a year for metal, both in new material and reissues. To me, 2014 will be forever known as the year of the reissue because so much good stuff was reissued. So much stuff that had been out of print for decades and went for astronomical and astronomically insane prices online that none of the artists profited from. Um, just just nuts, and a lot of it got back into print. Sure, there still was some stuff that came out in later years, like in 2015, carbonized thanks to Vic Records. But some of the examples are I have right here. Of course, I had them already, but I bought them again because of the remastered sound and added stuff like that. Some of the examples are Cancer, Dawn, Death's Leprosy, The Exploited's Beat the Bastards. The Exploited had so this is just these are just one album from many albums of their discographies that got reissued. I just picked these albums from their discographies because the Beat the Bastards is the only Exploited album that I like, so that's the only one I bought. God Macabre, The Winter Long. This one came back in print in the year 2000, but went out of print once again reissued by Relapse. In Flames, their entire discography got reissued, remastered. Sounds incredible. Highly recommended. So yeah, that's that. That's and there was so much more that got reissued. But if I spoke of all the stuff that got reissued, we'd be here for a few hours. So we're not going to do that. So, same rules as last time. I'm going to go through a list of albums that really struck a nerve with me in a good way. And then I will do the top three of that year of 2014 that I thought you know what I'm getting at. My favorite non-metal album of that year, my favorite EP of that year, and the album that I thought was the worst album of that year. So let's get started. The first album that I want to show you is by a band that is definitely taking the death metal scene by storm, and that is Morbus Schraun with their album Sweven. Now these guys are totally unique. I knew these guys were going to go places with their debut album, Sleepers in the Drift. Just totally unique. Um, these guys lost a lot of their fans with this album, but made a whole lot of new ones with this album. So I think they'll be just fine. Just fine. Again, if you're into just really unique, very strange death metal, this album is for you. Morbid Schraun with Sweven. Here's an album that my buddy Brian got me into. Death metal band from Greece that was on a lot of people's end of the year lists. A band called Dead Congregation with promulgation of the Fall. Great album. I've been jamming it since I bought it. Arrived in the mail a couple of days ago. I've been just jamming this one a whole lot. Pretty much perfect length of an album. Not too long, not too short. Just a really perfect length of an album, and has everything a death metal fan could want. Has anything any music fan could want. Got a little death to it. Got a little doom to it. Got a little thrash to it. Anything a metal fan could want. It's got really. This next one is a band that I took a chance on, and I'm really glad I did. Uh, one of the new wave of thrash bands, and it's Suicidal Angels with Divide and Conquer, killer Ed Repka artwork, and a killer production job by Frederick Nordstrom. I like the length of the songs here. This one just flows really well. I just really like the flow of this album. No nothing, no frills about it. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Just straightforward thrash, and that's what I really like out of the new wave of thrash bands. Here's another band that I took a chance on, and to be quite honest, the only reason I took a chance on these guys was that I read that they had recorded their album in Abyss Studios and Peter Taggart had produced it, and that's Sabaton with Heroes. And this is another band that I'm glad I took the chance on because it's a mighty good album, and I learned some history, and I really like the packaging. It's a CD, DVD, or no, it's a CD, digibook or media book, whatever you want to call this. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. This next album that I have in this group or this pile will surprise no one that is in this pile. Um, it's an album that really needed to be made by this band, and to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't think they would be able to meet this, considering their frontman's health problems. But they proved that hey, they can do it, and they're pretty much immortal. And I'm talking about Behemoth with The Satanist. This album is awesome. It really is. It gets better with each listen. I really, really love this album. And this album, well, it kind of elude it. Not the word I'm looking for is not eluded. It kind of what do I have the word? Well, it did something to the fan base. What word am I looking for? Divided. It divided the fan base. I think that's the word I'm looking for. But anyway, this album garnered them a whole new fan base, and now they're bigger than ever, and they just made probably their not still not their it's not their best album in my opinion, but I love it. And to see nice shiny nuclear blast CD DVD packaging, and I love the album. I love the album, and I love the album. This is a band that I did take a chance on, and I'm really glad I did because these guys are awesome. The death thrash band from the Netherlands, Thanatos, and their comeback album, Global Purification. This one is just awesome. This album is really, really awesome. Death thrash at its best. Yeah, mixed and mastered by Dan Swano. Brutal as hell. Simple, straight into the core death thrash. Around here, there's songs on the back. It's just amazing. I love it. I love it. I even know I use the word amazing a lot, but I don't care. Here's another band I took a chance on, and I'm really glad I did. Ditto for this. Tinkered, RIB, which stands for Rest in Beer. This was awesome. It took me a while. It just took a while to grow on me, but then all of a sudden, just bam, really just hit me like a keg of beer to the back of the head. It really hurt. So I'm really glad I bought this album, and I'm really glad that I listened to it. CD, DVD, media book. When I heard that this next album, well, there was something unique about this next band, I knew I had to hear it, and I knew it would be good. Nervosa, an all-female thrash band from Brazil. I just knew this one would be good, and I was right. This band is awesome. They are on Napalm Records, and it is just an incredible, incredible album. It by far the best album to come out of Brazil, I think, since Conquerors of Armageddon by Christian. And then Christian went and did Forged in Fury, and then, well, now that's the best album to come out of Brazil. So, yeah, definitely check these guys out if you're into thrash metal. Or check these girls out if you're into thrash metal. It's definitely worth your time. Next up, an always reliable band, Bloodbath. Now, I gotta admit, I was sketchy when I heard about Nick Holmes. I was wishing and hoping that it would have been Jorgen Sandstrom, but when I found out it was Nick Holmes, I was disappointed, as I think a lot of people were. As a fact, I know a lot of people were. And then when this came out, I think it had to grow on a lot of people. I know it had to grow on me, but when it did, oh man, this album kicks ass. This album seriously rules, and I really hope they do a US tour someday, because I would just love to see them play live, because there are so many good songs off this album, as there are with all the Bloodbath albums. I mean, Bloodbath just rules, and this is just another album to add to their amazing discography. Bloodbath, Grand Morbid Funeral, on Peaceville Records. Speaking of a band that's just awesome, and you never have to worry about these guys making a bad album. Well, except in 1998 when they did. But that album still had a lot of great songs on it, especially the instrumental. Cannibal Corpse, A Skeletal Domain. Now, I've liked everything Cannibal Corpse has done, with the exception of Gallery of Suicide. A lot of people didn't like Torture. I loved Torture. So, I don't need to say anything about this album kicking Torture's ass, because I think they're both equal. With this one having better production. So, there it is. Cannibal Corpse, A Skeletal Domain. This artwork is weak. That's my only complaint, is that this album's artwork is just totally weak. And I don't know what they were going for, and whatever. Time for my next pile. Another comeback album. And despite Cam Lee's trash talking and his ego that is the size of Jupiter and all of his moons combined, the thing was going to deter me from buying the latest and, sadly, for now, last Massacre, Back from Beyond. I knew this album was going to be amazing, but I didn't know it was going to be this amazing. This album rules. It just rules.